Couple minutes here. First item on the agenda is the second agenda. Are there any additional items or corrections this evening?
No, I have none.
With none, I'll entertain a motion then to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 1.2, audience participation. Are there members of the audience that would like to address any items on our regular agenda this evening? We'll have another opportunity later, but thanks for being here. Section 2 is a consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that a board member would like to have pulled out and considered separately? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion is second to accept the consent agenda. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Waiting patiently, we're ready now for the school lunch. So who wants to start us off here?
I would like to introduce Gloria Burnham, our Director of Food Service, for the explanation of pricing for next year. Thank you.
Good evening.
After running the calculator for the paid equity tool that I have to run every year with the state and the USDA, it is, we do have to increase prices this year. We haven't done it for a couple of years. So lunch for K through 6 will be $1.95, which is a 10-cent increase. Lunch for 7 through 12 is $2.05, which is a 10-cent increase. And we will increase breakfast as well to $1.20. It's been $1.10 for at least 15 years. So 10-cent increase overall.
That's not bad, 2 years.
I'm sorry, I can't pull. Is this an item we need to approve?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So with that information, I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation on increase in, well, basically a 10-cent increase.
Thank
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, discussion or questions?
Doing a good job, Larry.
Thank you for keeping it as low as you can. I also would like to mention that Gloria has, and her staff have already complied with the guidelines for next year for the salt intake that was required of us, so Gloria's been right on it. They've done a great job.
I do have a question. Will it affect reduced lunch prices? Okay.
Yes.
Is that the adult price, staff, adults?
No. Adult, she's a senior.
We haven't talked about that yet. We'll probably keep it the same.
Okay, thank you.
There might be some other increases in pricing, like a la carte things and things like that, but that's just typical for that kind of thing.
Thank you.
Just, because I'm probably not going to have Gloria in a public meeting again before I leave, I do want to say, you know, we don't have to raise these prices, but they're telling us we have to raise them. It's not that our funds in bad shape. It's that the government says that you have to raise this price. And Gloria is responsible for that. A lot of school districts they can't do that. And over the years, this is one fund that we've always been able to count on that we have more than enough money in there. And matter of fact, we were told a couple of years ago we had to start spending that money. So I just want to thank Gloria for being the Director of Food Service during my tenure, and really I appreciate what you've done. You run a great program, and you do great for the kids. Thank you very much.
Yes, she did.
Appreciate that.
I think we have motion and second. I think we need to vote still.
Yes.
So all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks, Gloria.
Thank you.
Item 3.2, consider quick claim deed.
Yes, so the City of Plymouth is embarking on installing a traffic light at the intersection of South Michigan and Soyce Oakville right there at Webster Elementary. Because of that, we have a little bit of property that encompasses Soyce Street, and so the documents that are there basically say that we would claim that to the city for $1, and they'll be able to embark on that project. So it's about a 10th of an acre. It's very small slice.
Something like that, and it's actually the portion that the city is already using
Already
for
using.
Soy Street. The street's been there for, I don't know how long, and just to kind of clean things up as part of that project, they asked that the school corporation would transfer title to that portion of it to the city. There's no question about ownership in the future.
Heard the explanation, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the quit claim deed as presented. Questions or discussion? I do think it's nice that we have cooperation between the school corporation and the city on these matters, and just throw it out there as we get ready to embark on a project. There may be some things we need from the city, so we're glad to participate. So with that, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item 3.3, present summer school information.
The list here is for our summer school program for this coming summer. As in the past couple of years, we're starting for 2 sessions at the high school level, and then we'll have a session of high remediation for 3rd graders, and then also a kindergarten, not roundup, but
Countdown.
kindergarten countdown camp type of setup, pending just some final funds from a grant from the United Way. So those are presented to you for your approval.
Heard the recommendation, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion second to approve the summer school information as presented. Questions or comments?
I saw that there was online classes, so I mean, they can take the whole thing online, just like some of the college courses or whatever?
The portions of it would be more like a blended environment, like a dual, so portions of it would be online, portions of it would still be in the house.
And what, I mean, so they can work, or, I mean, why are we offering that too?
Good experience, flexibility in scheduling, things like that. More of the remediation type as well, so credit recovery.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? Have motion and second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item 3.4, consider science and health adoption for grades 5 through 12.
Yes. First of all, I just really want to thank the time that the teachers, administrators, and we had a really great turnout for parents as well that served on our committee for textbook adoption. They explored a lot of options. They found some really good ones. We did come together a couple weeks ago and made a final decision to present to you guys. So our final choices are in your board packet for your approval.
You've heard the recommendation. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and second to approve the science and health adoption as presented. Questions or comments? See none. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 3.5, field turf authorization resolution.
Yes, this is a resolution that came in a packet from PNC Bank, and this is who we would be having the lease through for doing the field turf at the high school, and the payment would be paid out of the CPF funds for the next 5 years. That is already figured into the plan at this time. And yes, Mr. Green did look over all the documents and concurred, and I have read every last paragraph. Sorry. And I was actually starting to understand it.
Don't want to go too far here. We've got the resolution. Let's get it on the table. Motion and second to approve the resolution. Discussion or questions?
When will they start on that?
Maybe after track is over,
After
so
Memorial Day. And you guaranteed to be ready by
August.
July 20th is a substantial completion.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or sooner if you have time to go help.
They said they might be some difficult spot like
Busy in
that.
summertime.
That'd be nice golf service.
This is one where I expressed some concern about paying it out of the CPF at the last meeting, just a capacity issue. I'm less concerned because of our GO strategy here, and pulling some items that we would have to address through CPF, so I think it gives us some flexibility there, so appreciate that. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. 3.6, approve PHS asphalt bid.
Yes, in March, I put a advertisement, 2 publications in the paper, and then I sectioned the high school parking lot off into 4 specific locations. And through a bid process, we did receive 5 bids for resurfacing the 4 major areas of the high school parking lot. And the low bidder for this project was Niblock Excavating. And to take the base bid and all 3 of the alternates, it comes in at $310,700. And did a review and checked everything with Niblock. Everything looks in order. Bid bonds, supplementary bid forms, everything is in order at this time, and that being the low bid was the one that I would ask you to approve at this time. Considerable range. High bid was $413,744. So, but we had 5 bids from the major companies that could service this type of project.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Questions or comments?
Are you familiar with their work?
Yes, they've done quite a few projects for City of Plymouth already, and they have quite a bit of work in this area, so I felt pretty comfortable with them.
Yeah, the other bidders I'm familiar with as far as doing road or parking lot. I didn't know Niblock did that kind of.
Where are they out of?
Columbia City, Indiana. It's pretty in line with the type, size, and scope of work they do. They're not primarily as much in heavy highway work, but they do pick up this kind and this type of work of this size.
So when will this be, will it be done in these sections like you're talking about?
Yes, the plan is to mill 1.5 inches off of the 4 parking lot areas, and that would start after graduation. So it would just directly around June 3rd, 4th in there, and then we would have it completed by approximately July 20th.
July 20th is a big day around here.
Yes.
We'll have a party.
That's going to be my celebration day.
Any other questions? If not, we have motion and second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. 3.7, security report.
Good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
First and foremost, thank you to all of you for what you do for us. I appreciate that. Kind of an update on some of the areas that we're working on in our emergency and safety and security areas. We met with the Department of Justice, Education, and we have reviewed all of our emergency procedures and our crisis team manual. We are in the process right now of putting that all together. They've given us some recommendations, and they've also given us some items that we have to have in there that you would think of. We have to have a nuclear fallout plan. I was not aware of that. So, some of the things that we're looking at, they've given us some great insight, and then also some areas where we can go get that information. The second big area would be our cameras. We are updating all of our software. That caused a few little bugs, but we're working with our vendor, Hable, and they're taking care of them all right now. All the cameras are up and running perfect, and we have installed 3 new Optera cameras that will record a field of view of 270 degrees at once, and then you can focus in on one while you're still recording clearly the other side. So those are the 2 biggest areas that we're working on right now. Are there any questions?
Just out of curiosity, I have a question. Just with the, discussion here this evening of, we'll see where this goes, but a new facility, I'm assuming that creates an opportunity for, and I know we don't want to talk too much about where we're grading security and whether or not something. And I'm assuming this gives us an opportunity to do some things that we're pretty limited in doing at later this year.
Absolutely. I got to meet with the architect the other day when we had a meeting, and we got to discuss a lot of great things like door locks that would be installed in the middle of a crisis. We don't want to be trying to figure things out, so we need to make things as simple as possible. So we're looking at, we would have retractable gates to section off hallways, obviously which cameras we're going to be able to reuse, all kinds of things in that, the secure entries. So those were items that we discussed and that we will at some point sit down and go further.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.
3.8, marketing. I expect this to be our best PowerPoint to read.
It's a little bit longer.
A lot of
All
pressure.
right. Okay, well, I don't have the pleasure of always being here to talk to you, so my presentation is about 5 to 10 minutes long, and there's a lot of links inside of this PowerPoint, so if you'd like to explore more on what I'm talking about marketing-wise, all you have to do is click on any of these links here. But I put together a report. The first page describes what I do. For those of you that don't know, I'm a part-time teacher and I'm a part-time marketing director. And so, but I'm a full-time marketing person always. So I teach marketing and I also teach TV broadcasting and radio broadcasting. And the goal is everything my students do is either seen or heard or in the paper or on our social media platforms or in articles and publications. So it's a win-win situation for our school corporation. So I manage all of our social media across the board. We have 11 Twitter accounts, 11 Facebook pages, one PCSC Instagram account, and a Pinterest account that has many boards. So if you haven't explored it, right here I put demographics. It is 77% female heavy, so maybe your wives or you would like to explore this. And they all vary in ages too for social media platforms. So this is 77% female, the average viewers. We have 8,365 viewers that log on and get to see our posts. The largest demographic is age 18 to 29. And we market these platforms different for somebody that is in high school or a young adult versus what we would market our Facebook pages. Where the largest demographic for us is 35 to 44 years old. So there, on this platform, there's a lot of parents and grandparents that are on it. And so we, my students and I, we write in full sentences. We put more things in the post than what you would expect for a platform like Instagram or Twitter. Twitter is very limited to what we can put on because you can only use 140 characters in what you can put on. I know some of you school board members do follow us because I see your likes. Yes. And this is what the platforms look like right here. I'm also the media liaison, so the media does not pass go until they call me. And then I would get whomever they would need to be on camera to do interviews. And that would be newspaper reporters, television reporters, radio reporters. They would call me and then I would help them get whomever they need quotes by or interviews by. And then I solicit weekly story ideas to the media about events that we have coming up and stories that my students and I write. And this is something that I do weekly, on a weekly basis, to send them things. Okay, and so I also market the school corporation in annual marketing campaigns. And these are 4 that I listed here. In January, we do a big freshman orientation open house campaign. In March, we do kindergarten roundup. In June, this will be our second edition of the Plymouth Pilgrimage. And then in summer, I mark it by myself, solely PCSC registration. All right, let's see if I can, there we go. Okay, and so these are all of our statistics that I keep track of, and my second year students help with as well. You can get on the report and blow it up so you can actually see the numbers better, but this is just an example. And then in the report, I also have the 2015 and then 2014 statistics. And you can see right here, this is the growth by school year, this year so far, that our each individual school has grown. If it's in the red, it hasn't grown as much as what we would like. Okay, and then over here is how much it has grown ever since we established the account. And this one, for instance, is 1,000, over 1,000, so that's huge. And these are all of our followers from all over Michiana. Mainly the statistics show that they're from Plymouth. So that's good. That's what we want, people in Plymouth following us and people in the surrounding communities. All right, moving on. This is our Facebook statistics. And as I mentioned, we have one for each one of our schools, and including the corporation, and then this would be the growth by school year, and they're all positive here, and then this would be the growth by when we established the accounts or when I came on board. All right, moving on. This is just one campaign here, the freshman orientation and open house. This gives you an example of an ad that I put together. It's been consistent advertising for the past 3 years. We've kept it the same, and then we keep our badge right here. We're keeping our fingers crossed that we get this again. We'll find out here soon in April if we qualify for the U.S. News and World Report ranking high again. And let's move on to show you. So taking that campaign, for instance, there's different mediums involved with each of our campaigns. So newspaper, we advertise with the Plymouth News Group, and these are all of their individual newspapers where we put our ads. And then radio, we did Max 98.3, WTCA, and U93. And then if you would like to hear the ads, they're produced in-house by me and our students. And then each one of these have one of our students that Mr. Condon, the principal, picks, and they help. I write the ad, and then students come in over Christmas break, and we have them voice the radio ad. And then it can be heard on our website, our YouTube channel, and then on the radio stations. And then social media, we also do a campaign for social media too, so we can catch all of our followers that way. And I will just click this one to let you hear it. This is a 50-second little commercial.
Hi, I'm Plymouth High School senior Garrett Garber. One of my proudest accomplishments in life is qualifying for the National Speech and Debate Tournament. I may never have become involved with speech and debate if it wasn't for Plymouth High School. I have a 4.3 GPA, and this fall I will be attending college as a pre-pharmacy major.
Community School Corporation invites soon-to-be incoming freshmen and all potential transfer students and their parents to our open house freshman orientation on January 18th from 5:45 to 8 p.m.
PHS has dozens of opportunities waiting for you. Come discover your passions at Plymouth High School.
And next year, I'm hoping my second-year students then can edit those. All right, and moving on.
Just hit the red dot in the upper left to close that window. And then you have to click on the PowerPoint down in the dock. Just click on that.
This one. This
No,
one.
that was really, the peak, the actual peak.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go. Okay, and so then this year we also attached to the freshman orientation when parents came in, this little orange slip stating their name and their child's name. And then on the back we did a little survey to ask where did they see or hear about the marketing campaign. And then there was a sign-in sheet, several of them, that parents fill in their name and where they live in the school district. So After this was gathered, I called the parents on here just to find out, because no one turned in this little sheet. So I called the parents that were on here to find out how did they hear about it, and it's a mixed result. So we don't have statistics to show that it was the newspaper, or it was social media, or it was a radio ad. So it's all a mixed result. So I don't have one that stands out more than the other. So I think the overall message that I learned from this campaign is that we need to hit all different platforms, because not everybody's on social media, or not everybody's listening to the radio, or picking up the newspaper and seeing the ad. All right, and moving on. Media coverage, we do get a lot of media coverage, and I'm really appreciative for that. I put together just 2 pages of some examples throughout the months that stories that were very good that you can click on here to see. All right, so those are available. And I mean, it's a big mix from TV stations to newspapers to radio stations. So I tried to include everybody on that. And then new this school year, Amy Mahan, she works with the vocational programs. Mr. Tyree has changed her position slightly to allow her to work part-time as well in marketing. So this has really helped out great. She is working with Andy Hartley on the Americans with Disabilities Act to be ADA compliant on all of our websites and our social media. So that will be terrific, because that's going to be a requirement. And I know a lot of the Michiana school corporations are really scrambling to try to get their websites up to date. I had a call from Penn High School. They're trying to do the same. And so they reached out to us because they really like our website and wanted to know who we are using. So that's great to hear. All right, Amy also proofreads all of our marketing material, including press releases and any articles that my students write, and then I grade. Then I send them to Amy just to go, another set of eyes to go through them, and then I send them to the press. So it is a really good working team. She posts articles that I write and that the marketing students write on our 11 PCSC building websites. And then she creates, when needed, vivid graphics to accompany these web stories and social media posts. The stories can be found on each of our schools' webpage under the news tabs. And then this is just an example. I'll click here to show you. If you click on the corporation site, for instance, and then you go down to district news, this is where all of the stories appear. So these were all written by myself or either my students. And we'll just keep scrolling here. Each site, each one of our schools has this. All right, so I'll click here. I'll go back to keep. Okay. And then I also provide the link for Plymouth High School if you'd like to see that. As I mentioned, my students, they're part of the marketing team, so they get really excited when they hear that. And if you click here, you'll get to meet and see my students. These are the second semester students. I just showed you, and nobody showed up. I told them if they came, I would give them extra credit. But I told them it would be a late one today. So if you go to their website, you can see who they are and click on each one of their pictures and read their bios. And then this is a link to their Twitter account, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. I end the class with each one of them having to have a LinkedIn account, which I think is very important for this day and age in business. And that's what this class is. Interactive Media Marketing is a business class, marketing. And these are my students right here that are writing all the stories. So we'll click here. Okay. And so my students, like I said, they produce their work seen on the website, social media, or by the local media. And they create animated and still marketing graphics as well. And then I teach them how to market the social media content. And we always plug their names so our followers know that it was written by a student and that they're in the marketing class or they're in the TV class. So that helps their portfolios too. So my first semester students, they create video marketing projects like the one that you just saw with Owens in the video. And that's for the website and social media. And then my second semester students, they create articles for our Plymouth Pilgrimage. And this will be our second edition that we're doing this summer. So it'll be in mailboxes in June. move on. This year, we reached out to the local newspapers to see if they would not only put the articles in the paper, but mention our students in our program, and they have. So that is really great, because it's building their resumes, and like I said, it's helping us market what we have to offer. It's allowing them to actually have real publications and put together a portfolio that's just unbelievable, really, for a high school student. And we just included one of them right here, so you could see. This is by Kathy Bauer with WTCA. And so she took all of their pictures that they took, and then all of their captions. And then here at the bottom of the article, we just flipped this so you could see. It says, it was put together by this interactive media marketing student. So that's great. And then here's another example. This Chinese New Year celebrated at Plymouth High School. This was on our social media. Then Kathy also put this in. The newspaper also put it in. And then again, they plugged the student. So that's wonderful. All right, and then this is our huge project that we're working on. The Plymouth Pilgrimage, the second edition, like I mentioned. In 2016, the first edition was 12 pages. And it highlights our programs, lessons, events exclusive to PCSC. And we'll have stories that are selected by PCSC admin team. And then they're written by either, somebody in the marketing team, Amy Mahan, myself, or my students. And then the layout production is done by Harmony Marketing Group, and we're going to go with them for the second year in a row. And it's mailed to, last year it was 12,500 homes. And this year, we're going to increase it for a very small extra fee, it was like $400 fee, to 16 pages. So it'll be more in Fulton County, St. Joseph County, and Marshall County mailboxes. And more stories and more information to show Michiana what our school and our students are doing. All right, and so then the radio and TV broadcasting class, they also play a role in marketing as well, and this is their website. And they receive Ivy Tech dual credit, college credit, 3 credits. It's a year-long class. And those students create scripts and animated graphics. They capture video and pictures for their TV show that's weekly. And if you click here, this goes to their weekly TV show if you'd like to see it. And oftentimes they create material that's usable for both our high schools and the social media websites. And then also, they have shot video that the local TV stations have used as well, and the newspaper and the radio stations. So that's great, pictures that they shot. This is a 1-hour daily program, and it gives our marketing team another source of promotional marketing content to highlight what we have to offer here at PCSC. All right, and this is just one example of how we do dual marketing here. So it not only benefits us, but it benefits whoever's doing the dual marketing with us. So this is one example of one company, business, University of Notre Dame. They allow our students to go to football games and to basketball games. They also allow hockey, but nobody has taken us up on that. Nobody out of the students. So these are just some examples of what they've been able to cover this year. And so they've met really cool people. This is David Robinson, NFL, right? NBA?
NBA.
Sorry. Okay, and so this is Dick Vitale. And I know this is Bon Jovi. And this is the basketball coach. And this is Father Jenkins, the head president of the university. And there's the coach, the football coach. So we get access to the press box and onto the field. And I try to teach them that it's not about covering Notre Dame sports, it's about being there and covering an event. So how the dual marketing works is the university gives us access for free, and they're working media members. And then we plug that on our social media, and we thank them, sincerely for allowing our students this opportunity. So it's a win-win for them because they retweet it and they reshare it. And then it's a win-win for us because it gets our students. I mean, this one, I wasn't even here when Juan went and introduced himself to Dick Vitale. So that was great because I saw that on Twitter and I said, you remember, you got to send me that first before you tweet that yourself. or at least tag us. So, and here's my student holding the microphone, interviewing the players with all the other, media. So they really are getting this great experience, and it's helping us market our school and our programs, because this is our program here that's, almost every Michiana high school that I know has a TV broadcasting program, but they just don't take advantage of what they could, Well, when I was at South Bend Schools, my students got this opportunity too, because I called and I asked, and we got this. And it's not just me taking them. The administration can take them too. So if anybody here would like to take them, let me know. And I know Mr. Clinton has already said he would. And Ken Olson took them to a game this year too. All right, and so, and this just goes to show you how many people one post. And this, I didn't pick this post for any particular reason, but this just shows you how many people are seeing this. This is 9,240 people saw this one post here about Mr. Bacall with this little girl, and the benches that he had helped create with the recycled caps. And this just shows you how many people are seeing it. And this one particular post got 349 likes. So that means 349 people actually stopped at this social media post and clicked the like button. And then here it says 233 people actually shared this. They actually shared this to their social media page. It's not only people in Plymouth, but it's corporations and companies and local media. And it just shows you, this is free. Social media is free, and it just shows you how far, something that's done correctly can go. And my students are doing this every day, so I'm really proud of them. And that is it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me now, or you can email me. And like I said, there's so many links in that presentation, I would not dare click them all for you.
Sounds like a great program.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen the kids at the after-game press conferences with the coaches, and that's kind of cool to watch them.
It is.
I did have a question about your pilgrimage.
Yes.
That, I know that's sent around to the homes, and I have to say, I really appreciate our local media, both newspaper and radio, being very, very willing to share our information and highlight our students, and I appreciate that. Is that online as well, the pilgrimage? Or is it just in print
yes.
form?
Yep.
Okay.
And the link is in there that takes you straight online to it.
Great.
Yes. And then the last thing I have is this. I don't know if you saw this before spring break, but this is the second edition of the Design Ad. So all of our schools took part in this, besides Lincoln, but next year we're hoping to get them on board. And our students either draw little ads for the community. We have a whole bunch of copies if you didn't get one in your paper that we'd be happy to pass out to you. But the digital ads are coming out soon, and it also generates revenue for our art department. And the teachers, I'm hoping to coordinate it this week, all the art teachers, they'll get their checks from the Pilot News Group either Wednesday or Thursday. Here, we're going to do a photo outside. And it provides them with art supplies. So they get revenue from these ads that were sold. And this is the second edition, so I'm proud of that one too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good report, thank you.
We'll follow that up with the legislative report.
Yeah, it's a joy. I'll be brief though.
Okay.
We're in the final stretch. A lot of bills are in conference committee now, or on the governor, heading to the governor's desk. The assessment bill, in particular, is in conference committee, and we're just hoping for the number of tests at the high school level to reduce, and there's some flexibility to happen there. But K through 8 level is showing some promise with adaptive testing and things that will kind of be a bit more in line with student needs. So we talked last time about the school financial management bill, HB 1009. That's moving through both houses now, with relinquishing the general fund and making it the education fund, and then also taking 3 of those tax support funds and making them an operations fund. So we'll start looking through that once if it gets signed by the governor, which we anticipate it will. budget bills in conference committee, so we'll see where that lands. It's showing some slight increases in the formula, but that's all still driven by students, and so should be watched there.
I know there's been lots of versions, or at least rumors about 1009, but I understand the current version, we can still keep our rainy day fund, correct?
That's correct. And debt service stays where that is.
So interesting. Any questions for, was that out loud?
I didn't hear any.
Good. Thanks, Andy. 3.1, policies, guidelines, technology.
This is the second reading. You were presented with the first reading last month. Policies relating to, like Judy mentioned, the website accessibility, so making sure we're in ADA compliance, as well as just responsible use of school equipment as it relates to social media, loading software without prior approval, things like those. Entertain any questions? Otherwise, these are presented to you for your approvals.
Let's get it on the table. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Takes us to section 4, superintendent remarks.
Actually, I didn't put a lot together tonight because I knew it was going to go late. I would like to report, though, that Riverside Intermediate today was named a state STEM school. And they worked on that last year, didn't get approved last year. They took the comments that the committee, when they did their visit, and took it back and got the approval today to a STEM school. Our next meeting will be, I believe it's May 2nd, Tuesday, May 2nd. And I will get information out about interviews sometime late in May.
Any questions for me? Section 5, audience participation. Those who step it out, thank you. Any questions on agenda items? Yes.
Could I know the final cost of the field turf?
Help with that.
Field turf. $797,600.
I'm sorry,
$797,600.
Thank you so much.
Donations at the table. Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.